Hey y'all, welcome to Sex Ed for You, the podcast where research meets reality.
I am Lauren, a certified holistic sexuality educator.
And I'm Holland, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Public Health.
Sex Ed for You's podcast is for people who want to date and have great sex that is fun and safe and enjoyable. We like to empower our listeners to make informed decisions that lead to values-based living.
Okay. Hey.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
To y'all, it's a new episode. To us, it's been 5 minutes since the last episode.
Happy New Year, or wherever we are in the world. It's about to be Happy New Year.
I think it's after Christmas is when this one's going to come out. So I hope your Christmas was wonderful.
Hope it was good.
Ours, we'll see.
To be determined.
The next episode will be me talking about my Christmas and you talking about your Christmas. So that'll be really fun.
That'll be
You have
exciting.
something to look forward to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm so glad you can't.
Listen, Holland's in a stage that I was in, and so I know our audience is kind of this fun conglomerate because we're watching, who's watching, of folks in Holland's stage of life and folks in my stage of life.
Fix your hair.
What just happened? Did I fix it?
Yeah. It had like one piece that was just...
Okay. Thank you for the viewing audience. I had many years of I knew I was growing, but I was still fitting my life into the old traditions, old patterns of my family of origin. And it took such a long time to just be like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I do what I want on the holidays now. It took such a long time. And you are girly pop right where I was. And it is everybody's to do in their own time.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the first Thanksgiving that I did just on our own, and then the first Christmas I did just on our own, magical.
Yeah.
Like, so chill. And everybody else is running around like chickens with their heads cut off and so stressed. And I'm like,
why is that
what?
our culture?
Why?
Like, why are we so, as a society, just complacent in the fact that we don't actually enjoy holidays?
I'm so baffled.
Because even when all the prep is super stressful, and then the day of, you're like, it's what you're working for, right? Mm-hmm. But the reward is so little. The return is not high. Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Especially when one is exhausted, right? You can't be present.
Yeah.
Or like you've put all this expectation on other people for your day to be good.
Yeah.
And then there's all of this weird martyrdom stuff. There's always these memes that go around about mom getting a robe. Yeah. And like, it's all because she didn't ask for anything and she didn't share with others how she would like her Christmas to be. Instead, she's just in charge of making magic for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's just, I'm over it. Yep. I'm over it. So I hope everybody's Christmases were good. And if they weren't, start making notes now of what you want yours to look like next year, because we are choice makers. And that was probably where it came from, is that I had been a victim in my own narrative for so long. And I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I saw how powerful it was to just change my mind and do something differently. And I think I had been so scared for so long of losing my belonging. And then when I lost my belonging because of nothing I had really done, I was like, oh, screw it. Like, I belong to myself.
Yep.
And as it's going to be okay.
Yep.
So anyway, I can't wait to hear how your Christmas is. But that'll be the next episode. Tune in, everyone.
Tune in next week.
So we thought we could talk about a couple things because most of us go home for the holidays or take a hello. Not Lauren. She does not go home, even though my home of origin is across the street. And many people learned to masturbate secretly and quietly in their own homes or in their childhood bedrooms or on their couch or with a piece of clothing or with a pillow on their childhood bed. And so we thought it would be like a fun thing to talk about, learned masturbatory behaviors, and then also maybe mutual masturbation with a partner. So many people are like, what? Why would I do that? That's embarrassing. They'd see how I touch myself. So I'd like to talk about that. And then you also wanted to talk about a holiday special.
I do. Let's start with mutual masturbation. Mutual masturbation? Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay. You go first. What do you want to talk about it?
I think it's so underrated.
Me too.
I think it's so underrated. I don't think people give it the credit that it's due because of embarrassment. There is so much shame surrounding sexual I don't know. Well, sex generally.
In general.
Like, especially for women to touch themselves, I feel like it's an understood that, like, men jack off, you know? Like, that's just, like, is what it is. Whereas women feel so much shame surrounding it. I've never been that way personally. But I'm me. So, anyway, I just think there's so much fun to be had within mutual masturbation, especially at the holidays, like you were saying, because it can be kept a little bit more quiet if you're in a squeaky bed, or if you just want to mutually masturbate. It's really fun. I think it's a fun thing to try. And like, I just gotta say, it was one of my favorite things that I did in like my long-term partnership that I was in. It was just so intimate, which is interesting.
Right. It just shows that we like hierarchies. We just love them. And we're like the best of the best. If you have a person with a penis and a person with a vulva, is penetration. And I'm like, why?
Why?
Like, there's a feeling of closeness. Great. I mean, great. But it's not everything. Nope. And there can be such sweetness. Okay, total transparency. I mutually masturbated this morning. So we're going to use a very, very current reference. But the reason that I did is I am currently menstruating. And so sometimes it's so lovely not to have to think about the mess.
Yeah.
And just, I wanted an orgasm. I knew it would feel good for my body. I've also been dealing with some crazy tummy issues since coming back from vacation. And I don't feel in my like sexiness.
Yeah.
But you know, the great thing about masturbation is I didn't even have to get out of my pajamas, y'all.
Whoop, whoop.
Right? Like, did I even kiss my partner? Don't think I kissed my partner. Not at all. Morning breath, right? Like just lovely. Like, yes, there was like touching and we had already been kind of cuddling.
Yeah.
And I thought I could really use an orgasm, but I do not want the hassle of taking my clothes off right now.
Fair.
Or the hassle of period blood. And we all know Lauren loves period sex. I have a layer. I have all these things. But I have felt so depleted over the past few days. But guess what? We deserve orgasms. And so I was like, wait. What if I grab my vibrator from the side drawer, right? I'm going through this like little checklist. Do I have enough energy to grab my vibrator? Yes. Could I ask my partner if he's interested in that? Yes. If he says no, am I going to be okay? Am I going to bounce back? Yes. If he says no, can I still do this for myself? Yes. Like I just went through this little checklist and I was like, this sounds actually really nice. And then I was like, hey, would you want to mutually masturbate? And he was like, oh my goodness, that sounds perfect. And I thought, look at that. I could have like totally missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's so hot. Like feeling the like rhythm of somebody else's like movements just in the bed next to you. Y'all, so underrated.
Yeah. And I think a really cool part of it too is you get to see what your partner likes.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to learn about your partner because they are doing what they know will get them to orgasm. So you can watch one for entertainment, and it's like live porn.
It is, and so good, so good for us. It's real.
It's your own,
it's actual. Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're like, oh, I've never done that technique that you're doing right there. Catalog that shit for when we're having sex next time, and like it's just a really cool thing to do.
No, you could even say the next time you have sex, like, hey, I was noticing when we were doing this thing. Can you show me how you did that? Like, it seemed that you really liked that. Being a student of your sexual partner is like the sexiest thing on earth. Like, so sexy.
That's one of the most fun parts of a relationship is learning to have sex with the other person. I don't think sex is something that you're just period good at, like the end.
Nope.
Sex is something that you continually learn with a person, like learn with your partner or partners. Like it's a fun thing that you continually get better at.
I think the only people who are, quote, good at sex are those who are such great listeners and communicators, right? I'll have clients all the time say like, oh, I'm scared to have sex. Like, I don't know if he'll be like a good sexual partner, right? People with vulvas, people in female bodies will say this to me often. And I'm like, tell me how he communicates. Does he listen to you? Does he ask questions? Does he inquire? Does he dig deeper with these things? Is he respectful? You're going to be fine,
Does
right?
he notice things?
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. Does he notice things you like? Does he notice and acknowledge and catalog information about you?
Or does he just talk about himself all the time? Then no.
Because I can tell you,
probably
he's
it's not
going to
be a
be
good lover. Listen, we got experience. And also, to what you had just said, I will have people say, oh, I feel so bad because so-and-so is so much more experienced. Let us stop you right there. Every clitoris, every vulva, so different.
Yep.
And so I don't care how many people that this male-bodied person with a penis has been with, it don't matter. Mm-hmm. Like, your body is unique. And if somebody is not willing to be a student of it, they just need to go away. Go away. You don't have to have been with anyone, and you could be an amazing lover because you ask and you communicate and you're excited and curious, and that's such a turn on.
It really is.
You don't need to have had sex with a million people.
Yeah. A friend of mine the other day was like, I'm just not good at dirty talk. Don't look at me with those eyes. But he was like, yeah, I'm just not good at dirty talk. Period. Like, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, well, have you listened? Have you asked? Have you looked at audio erotica? Have you read erotica? Like, there are so many. It's something you learn. It's not something that's just like you're born with it. Like, you don't come out the womb dirty talking. You learn. You learn. You read. You listen. You ask. What do you want to? What do you want to hear?
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you want to be called?
Yeah.
What titillates you?
You said it. You said it. Yeah, I literally made a reel last night because we had yet another day full of clients of people saying, I just didn't think that if I tried the masturbation techniques you gave me and listened to the audio erotica that it would really make my orgasms that much better. And I was like, oh, but you didn't? And they're like, no, I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all, sexual skills are like any other skills. They have to be learned. We've got to, a client said this week that she is trying to approach this with confidence and humility. And I was like, damn, I love that. Because confidence is so necessary. This like freedom to fail.
Yep.
But then humility says, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And that is such a beautiful place to come at solo and partnered sex.
Yeah.
Like, we get to learn.
Confidence and humility.
Right.
I really like that.
Hey, Trey said the same thing.
Wow.
Oh, client, I hope you're listening because I have been saying it to everyone.
Yeah, I think that's that's just registered in my brain as like a new thing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Right? I am confident enough to go into a new space and say, I'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But humble enough to say, but it might go poorly. That's okay.
And that's okay. And also, I can learn.
Uh-huh.
What a beautiful, I think that's such a great place to come from. Wow. My mind is blown.
And, what's so fascinating, right, is when people enter sex ed, they're coming in usually in a place of like, they want to fix something that they are dissatisfied with.
Yeah.
And so it's such a cool thing to blow up hierarchies and be like, whoa, pause. You just taught me something. This is when the student becomes the teacher and the teacher becomes the student. It's the best.
It is.
The best. Okay, so mutual masturbation, amazing. To Holland's point, yes, watching somebody else can be such a great learning experience. I was also going to say that sometimes my favorite mutual masturbation things are like, everybody's so covered under the covers and nothing's even being watched. It's not an observatory. That sounds like the wrong word. But like sometimes I love, and my clients will tell me like, partner sex is not the same as my solo sex. And my solo sex, I'm in my sweats, and my hair's up, and my messy bun, and I'm wearing my retainers, and it's really nice because it's just me and my vibrator.
Yep.
Sometimes it's really nice to get to do that beside a partner in a bed.
Yeah.
And what it does is slowly just like dismantles shame.
Yeah.
Any shame. Right? Sometimes we do have the best ways that we can come quickly. Forever that this Lauren, the sex educator, is going to be like, fuck quickly. Like, take your time. Take your time. Like, I love luscious long sex.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just want a quick orgasm, right? And we sometimes know exactly how to bring us to orgasm.
Yep.
Research shows, this is crazy, that we're always saying like men can come so fast and people with penises come so quickly, and with women with vulvas it takes 20 to 40 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Ironically, the research shows that given their favorite fantasy or their favorite porn or their favorite alone solitude space and their sweats and yada, yada, women can come as quickly as men.
Oh, for sure.
And it is the spectatorship, the performance mindset, all of this type of stuff that gets them into a place where they're not orgasming or orgasming as quickly.
Yeah.
Do I think everybody needs to rush to orgasm? No. I just don't. But it was crazy this morning how fast I came.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm menstruating, and so there's more blood flow in my genitals, and so much of that has to do with it. But I did laugh out loud, like it was almost not as rewarding because I came
That's so funny.
so fast.
I've done that.
Like,
You're like, damn, the buildup.
Well, there was gone. It's gone. That's done. Okay, well, that was nice, and we can move on with our day. But it was so connecting, and it was something so sweet and shared. And I would love anyone, if they're still at home or they're going home for New Year's, to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about those who don't have a partner and who are going home and might want to spend some goodness time with themselves.
Yeah, with themselves or with people in their hometown.
What is happening? What are you going to be telling me about?
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm just more so going to inquire.
Okay, inquire right now. Go, because I am dying.
Okay, well, my ex is in my hometown.
Oh, God. Uh-huh. Right now? All the time?
Yeah, he lives there.
Uh-huh.
Is that a no? The question I haven't even asked, is that a no?
Okay. Let's have some real-time talk, everybody. Hi. Hi. Okay, tell me the things that... Listen, hot sex is led by desire. So tell me the things that are intriguing to you about a what's up text.
What's up?
Are you...
Okay, well,
I
don't know if I should put this on the internet. Now I'm second guessing myself in this moment.
Well, you did it. So you can also edit this out. You can betray. You can do like the snaps.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
Okay, well, we can theorize. We can theorize. Okay, so here's the things. A hookup with an ex can be delightful, and obviously the sex can be amazing. So for anyone considering going home and hanging out with a previous person in their lives, it can be really hot. It really can. Yeah. And you and I would always check in on human needs and, do we have other needs that are not being met? And are we looking to a person to provide us with something that they are not actually being consensually asked to give, right? Are they being involved in the sexual experience? Probably so.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if that was consensually communicated, great. But sometimes we will go into these sexual encounters wanting so much more from a place of deficit. I know I have, 100%. Like I'm roping myself into this.
Like what?
Well, when I would travel to New York City and hook up with the guy that I would hook up with there, sometimes I would leave literally distraught. Like the journals are extensive. Maybe I'll just send you one of those. Because I was just... I was a casual sex partner, which was fine. And it did fulfill, it was sexually satisfying tremendously. But in that season for me, I was looking for so much more. So my best friend will tell the story that after one of those encounters, she was visiting family in further upstate. And so she had dropped me off in the city and I was doing a bunch of stuff. And my sister and best friends are there. Like, it's not like I was alone. But I definitely hooked up with my casual sex partner in the city. And it just left me wanting. It left me aware of what I was really chasing in the world.
Yeah.
Which is also a season that you're in. I was on this cool track.
Yeah.
And yes, the sex was great. It was not about this person. It was so about what was going on in me and the trajectory I was on. And it's like I almost took like a pit stop.
Yeah.
And then the pit stop left me more empty than I had been before I took the pit stop.
Yeah.
Because it made me go, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
gotcha.
I want someone who, you said it so eloquently on the last podcast, or like about dating a dog and stuff, like what you're really looking for in this season. So it was clarifying, like to read a journal is to go, oh my God, Lauren at that time was like, no, I don't want to be one of in somebody's life. I want to be this, right? Like it was casual sex. The person has other casual sex partners. It was like very clarifying for me, but my best friend came to pick me up and I get in the car and I'm sobbing and I have like Dunkin' Donuts in my hand, which is hilarious because like I don't drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee or eat donuts.
Yeah.
And she said she'll never forget. I'm like munching on a donut and holding a drink going, I'm so glad you're my best friend. And I'm like sobbing. because I had tried to spiral back down. Like,
Yeah.
I was moving forward, and we all get to want sex. We all do. We got to check ourselves. And I think, thankfully, at that point, I didn't reach out and say anything to this guy, which would have been so like the me a couple months prior. Like, why can't you just give me more? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I didn't. But it did send me for a loop.
Yeah. That's
a
fair.
really rough
Understandable.
loop. So that's the only cautionary tale I tell people is that, like, if you're going to go back in time and sleep with someone from a time gone by.
Yeah. Especially a time where you were so mentally in a different state. Like state of
Literally
mind.
in a different state. So many people are going back to a state.
Yeah, I am.
Just be prepared for it to send you for an emotional loop.
Yeah.
If you've got, you know what my coach said the other day? She said to do a resiliency check-in. And I love this, okay? So she said scale of 1 to 5. Trey was like, ain't no way. That is 20% chunks. I don't like this. And I was like, Colin's going to make you be like 1 to 100.
Yep.
Okay, so resiliency check-in is this. If I encountered something right now that needed me to call upon my resilience resources, how able am I to bounce back?
What are your resilience resources?
So am I fully resourced? Like, am I in a good space mentally, physically, emotionally? Do I have good friends around me? Am I going to something else after this that's going to like fill up my bucket, right?
Yeah.
If something went wrong here,
Yeah.
how quickly could I bounce back? Am I feeling like on top of my game and like hard things could happen and be like, okay. Or am I at home at a family gathering where no one sees me and knows me and values me? And I'm going to go sleep with someone and then leave and go back to a whole world that doesn't know who I am or what I am or sees me and be stuck here for a week and a half more, right? So maybe you do the casual fuck with the high school boyfriend. This is not your case. This is somebody else's, right? Right before you go back home, right? You get on the plane the next day and you literally have like a date night with your best friend the moment you get back in.
Yeah.
Again, we get to do whatever we want. But that resiliency check-in was really fascinating to me. And then give yourself your own score. Mm-hmm. And again, you know that I'm all here for these lives are ours to fucking live.
Yeah.
And if we want to do something and find out the result, we get to. Mm-hmm. Like, we get to do the scientific research. Like, we get to go to the lab of our own selves. But I just, for those who might struggle with depression, anxiety, things of that nature, check in with yourselves. You know, just check in. Is the sex worth it? Is the dick worth it? Is the pussy worth it? Like, ask yourself.
True. Fair.
But again, I survived and I definitely did all of those things and they were helpful. They were really like helpful for me to know.
Yeah.
Did I cry lots of tears? Yeah.
It's a good check-in.
Did I drink Dunkin' Donuts and have a donut in my mouth? Yes.
Yes, I did.
So I would love for anyone who sleeps with a person from time gone by to send me their Dunkin' Donut picture, because when you're also nursing your wounds with sugar and coffee drinks, I want to know, because it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Totally valid.
Yeah. Does that help?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was good. Damn it.
You get to do whatever you want to do.
I know.
Always. Always, always. And it'll be supported. And not only supported, it'll be like cheered for, because I think the first principle of pleasure is the freedom of personal choice. Mm-hmm. And that allows us to, right? That's expansive. We get to choose things and then they cannot go well, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. As long as we're the one in the like driver's seat. Mm. Consensually communicating with everybody around us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that'd be a fun story for the audience. So, you know. Have you already? No, I'm not even gonna ask. Okay.
I know what the question was. The answer's no. I was waiting to ask you.
You're really good. You're really good. It's gonna be interesting. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. All the things. Thank you for coming to this episode. Sex Ed for You, where research meets reality. We hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. As a reminder, we have so many different ways that you can get involved with Sex Ed for You. If you're like, I want more after listening to this podcast, we are really active on Instagram. That is where our largest community is. You can find us at sex_ed_for_you. You can go to our website, sexedforyou.com. We got a monthly membership club, y'all. We've got merch. We have individual sex education that you can look into. If you are young and dating, if you are in the season of parenting, all of these types of things we work with. So sexedforyou.com/free consult if you want to chat about how the things that you would really like to work on in this season. If you ever have any feedback, you can, of course, make a note on the episode in Spotify, but you can also send us an email, admin@sexedforyou.com. That'll go to Holland. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
I couldn't think of anything.
That's all. Make your own decisions, do your own things, and we can't wait to talk with you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.